Hey guys, what's up? It's JRCuber. In this video, I'm going to be unboxing all of the cubes I got from the Cubicle office in New York, minus a few that are going to get their own videos. So if you guys watch that video, you know that the Cubicle has a huge warehouse with just about every single puzzle you can think of, and they said I could basically just take whatever I wanted from there. So I basically just grabbed one of those little drawstring backpacks and just filled it up with stuff. And that's about all I could fit in my suitcase to bring back, but that's what I did bring back, and that's what I'm going to be showing you guys in this video. Like I said, minus about 4 cubes that will get their own videos. Anyways, let's go ahead and get started. I didn't really know what to grab, so I basically just grabbed some non-WCA stuff that looked interesting, as well as some like budget cubes that I knew I was going to get anyways. Either way, let's just go ahead and go through it. Alright, so the first thing we got in here is this 3x3x5 cuboid modification from Calvin's Puzzle. So this is like a star cube. So this is basically the 3x3x5 Fisher cube with the corners that have been replaced with the normal corners, the unmodified ones. So you get this star shape. So movement is going to be pretty much just as good. It looks like some of the caps have kind of coming off. But yeah, movement just as good as the 3x3x5 Fisher and just the normal 3x3x5 from Calvin's Puzzle. So let's go ahead and do a checkerboard here. So yeah, this is going to solve pretty much the same, just that these little centers can have an orientation, but yeah, definitely not going to be that hard of a puzzle, but looks really cool. And then we also got kind of the opposite of this one, which is this one, the octagonal barrel type puzzle. So this one also comes in a proper Calvin's Puzzle packaging. Not that it really matters, but there you go. Interesting thing about this one is that the corners kind of stick out a little bit from the edges, which you can definitely tell in this one how the regular corners kind of sink in a little bit too far. And that's because with Fisher cubes, you have to kind of extend out a little bit for it to actually return to a proper cube shape. So that's why you get that happening. And since this is a simple piece swap, that is what's going to happen, but it would have been nice if these had actually been just cut down a little bit more so that it was flush with these middle pieces, because you can definitely tell that there's a bit of a ridge there. But either way, movement is also just fine. So just as nice as the other puzzles. And now also, if I wanted to, I could just piece swap all these pieces around and I would have a normal 3x3x5 as well as another 3x3x5 Fisher. I don't know how this one's gonna solve actually, because you of the way the colors are distributed, so you kind of get bars like this of 2 instead of having these pieces be split down the middle with 2 colors on each side. So this one actually might be a little bit trickier, but probably not too bad. So there you go. All right, next up, we've got a 5x5. This is the Qi Zhang S. So I'm pretty sure the S stands for stickerless, but this is a budget 5x5 from Qi. So let's go ahead and check it out. This one has a matte finish and kind of that same red as the Warrior W. So it's the same kind of whole color scheme as that cube. Movement feels actually pretty good. I like the feeling of the outer layers. They feel really kind of sandy. Just that very similar feel to the Warrior W, which I really quite enjoy. But yeah, very sandy out of the box feel. I'm sure that will go away with breaking in, but definitely feels like it could use some lubricant. But out of the box, not a bad cube. It doesn't feel like it's locking too much. Yeah, nice cube. Alright, up next we've got the Qi Clover cube. This one is going to get its own video, so look out for that coming very soon. We also have this Pentacle cube, something like that. This one also will be getting its own video, so look out for that soon as well. Alright, up next we've got a 4x4. This is the MF4S. So let's go ahead and check it out. There's also an MF4, which I also did get in this box, or in this bag, kind of. But let's go ahead and check out this one. This is from Cubicle Classroom. Yeah, pretty locky, quite stiff, so definitely needs to be loosened up quite a bit. It feels like I could get a lot better once that happens, but either way, it's actually got kind of a nice feeling. It's a little bit reminiscent of like a Weisu. That's kind of what it reminds me of. It definitely feels like a very average 4x4, so, but much better than anything you'd get from Rubik's or anything like that. So, of course, this is going to be a nice beginner's cube if you're just starting out with 4x4. Up next, we have hopefully a much nicer 4x4. This is the Aosu GTS-M. Again, I will be making a separate video about this one. Up next, we have a gear puzzle. So I'm pretty sure this is just a gear cube kind of shape mod. Yes, so this is basically a truncated gear cube. So I think the landline makes this. Yeah, turning is decent. And I don't think this will be any harder to solve than a gear cube, since it's just a very basic shape mod. I think it'll just basically solve the same way. Actually, it might be a bit easier since all these corners don't have any orientation, since there's no sticker here. So any of these corners can be rotated whichever way and can be in any location. So definitely should be a pretty easy solve, but just a nice gear cube shape mod to have. Up next, we have a Shanghai 5x5. The reason I got this is because I did want to check to see if they changed the mechanism. So Nathan Wilson talked about this, how they changed the Shanghai 5x5 mechanism, which means it's just a little bit harder to mod with. And if they didn't, I actually just wanted a non-modified Shanghai 5 in my collection because I do have one, but it's modded. So I mean, moving it feels way better than any other out-of-the-box Shanghai I've ever felt. That might just be tensions or something. Either way, we have a Shanghai 5x5. And then here, we also have another 5x5 from Shanghai. I'm not sure which this one is, but this one also looks like it's in white. I don't remember if they had black there. I might have just accidentally grabbed a white one instead of a black one. Either way, it's not a huge deal. I think this is like the Legend 5x5 or something like that. So let's go ahead and turn it. That actually feels really nice. It looks to me, is this just me, or are these outer layers just a little bit skinnier than the middles? It might just be the rounding on the edges that makes it look a little smaller, but it kind of feels that way. The outer layers are just kind of awkward to grip a little bit, but overall it's very fast, it's very nice moving. But yeah, I think this is like a Shanghai Wind or Aurora or Legend 5x5, something like that. Up next, we've got a pretty old cube. This is the Type-C WIT 2. So the WIT 2 was one of the first like really actually good 2x2s that was out. Before the die-in, this is the cube that people swore by, and I actually used to have a couple of these, but have since sold them all or got rid of them all, and I realized I don't have a WIT 2 in my collection, one of the most classic 2x2s, so I figured I should get it. This is still actually one of my favorite turning 2x2s out there. I don't know why, but just the way it moves, I just really enjoy it. It's super, super crunchy and clacky, but I just really like it. Very classic cube. I'm glad I finally have a WIT 2 again, because I was really wondering why I didn't have one. Up next, another 5x5. This is the MF5 from the Cubicle Classroom series. So let's check this one out. Yeah, this kind of feels like a cheaper like Bochuang. Does that make sense? Some of these stickers are actually kind of crooked, like this blue one here. But yeah, it kind of feels like a Bochuang, or maybe a little bit of a ution. Not really, but it just kind of feels like a cheaper version of those puzzles. The whole thing feels a little bit unstable. That could just be tensions, but I mean the tensions don't feel all that loose, so I'm not sure what it is. It just kind of feels a little wobbly. But yeah, again, this is basically just a beginner 5x5, but honestly, it's not that bad. I kind of like the turning. I like that sound. Yeah. Yeah, definitely not that bad of a cube. I think it's pretty alright. Alright, looks like we've got another gear puzzle. So let's go ahead and open this one up. So this one is basically a shape mod, again, of a normal gear cube into a dodecahedron. So also a landline puzzle, and also moves about the same as the other one. So these landline gear cubes aren't the greatest quality, definitely not as good as Meffert's, but they're alright. They serve their purpose just fine. And again, this is going to be much trickier to solve, I know, because the centers have orientation, and sometimes they can flip. So yeah, I think this is called like the Gear Minx or something like that. But yeah, just another shape mod of a regular gear cube. Alright, up next we've got a ution 4x4. I'm pretty sure this is the lion. That's what it looks like here. So let's just go ahead and open this up. So one thing I'm noticing about this cube immediately is that the corners are very sharp. They're not really rounded that much. Definitely reminds me of an ution cube. Movement is not that good. It's the middle layers are very, very crunchy and kind of unstable. They just super grindy, you know. And then the outers are not all that bad, but just kind of locky. And then those sharp pieces do kind of rub on my fingers when you're turning the outers, so it's not that comfortable to move. But yeah, just another budget 4x4. It looks like it's turning better as I'm moving it, but I mean, it's just not that fantastic either way. Alright, up next we've got the GAN 249. This is the 4th cube that will be getting its own individual video, so again, look out for that soon. Alright, up next we've got a pretty big puzzle. This is the MF8 helicopter dodecahedron. So this is another puzzle that I used to have, but then once sold, and kind of miss it. It's a very, very fun puzzle to have. It's quite a large puzzle, very intricate. And yeah, I just kind of wanted one again. So this puzzle does come unstickered, so I will have to sticker it. I don't mind that at all, though. I really do kind of enjoy the stickering these kind of large puzzles. And it does come with 2 sets, so that's nice. But I'll just be showing you guys the black version in this video. Looks like it's super, super oily, which is quite strange. It looks like all the oil is just kind of drained to one side of the cube. I'll definitely have to wipe that down. But either way, this is a edge turning puzzle, and it is quite stiff. I remember my original one being pretty stiff as well. That's alright though, a little bit of lube should do the trick. So yeah, it's just overall it's a very cool looking puzzle. You can see kind of the way the face looks there in the light. And yeah, so this also jumbles. So if I can get it to jumble like that, there you go. So that's pretty cool. And overall, it's just basically a way more complex version of the Cubicle's. So it's a similar solving method, but just more pieces, more places the pieces could be. And I just remember this puzzle taking a very, very long time to solve, but it was a very enjoyable solve. It's just kind of one that you sit down and work with for a few hours, and you just kind of get it eventually, but it just takes some time to get through. So yeah, MF8 helicopter dodecahedron. MF8 has a lot of really cool dodecahedron puzzles, and I do want to eventually get them all, but this is one of the ones that I originally had, so I figured I'd start here. Alright, once again we've got another gear puzzle, and this is an octahedron. Oh no, it looks like we lost a sticker there. Hold on. See if I can get that out of there. Alright, so it looks like this part that's peeling up is not going to want to stick down. I think I'm just going to go ahead and apply a tiny bit of glue and just get that to stick in place. That's a little bit unfortunate, but it's not a big deal. Anyway, this is an octahedron shape mod of the original Gear Cube. Not the same octahedron that Teamer made, but yeah, it moves like this. And just in every way. So that's pretty neat. And then same with this one, this does have center orientation because these are the centers here. So that's going to make it a little bit more tricky. Anyway, this one also is made by Landline. It doesn't move super well, but you know, it's decent. So there you go. Another Gear Cube shape mod. Alright, next up we've got a 4x4 from Cyclone Boys. So let's check it out. I do have the original Cyclone Boys 4x4. This one feels like a mini cube. I think this is 57 millimeters. Yeah, this definitely feels like a 3x3 type size. It's next to a 3x3. Yeah, it definitely is. I don't know what the mechanism is based off of, or if it's its own mechanism, but it does feel really nice. It's a bit crunchy, but it moves well. But yeah, there you go, mini Cyclone Boys 4x4. Alright, up next we've got another landline puzzle, what looks to be a 4x4 in here. So this is also a bit of an older puzzle, and I wanted to get this puzzle to see what kind of mechanism it had actually, because I might want to make a mod of some kind with this if it has like the original Rubik's type mech, or just keep it for the collection as a bit of an older 4x4. Let's go ahead and see. Oh yeah, it does. So it has the original ball core mech. So I'm gonna have to check the size as well, but I might be able to do some cool stuff with this for some mods. Because you can make some pretty cool stuff with the original Rubik's 4x4 ball core. You just don't want to use a Rubik's brand, obviously. So, yeah, that's basically why I grabbed this one. So there you go. Alright, looks like we've got another older 4x4 in here. This is the Maru 4x4 version 2. So the Maru 4x4 was most popular back when I started cubing. It was about the best thing you could get. This and like the X Cube 4, if you guys remember that, were pretty much the best thing you could get. I never got one, and this is the second version as well, so it's not quite the same one that I'm kind of remembering, but I did just want to check it out. So let's go ahead and open up. It's got this kind of very old type of packaging, but I remember this kind of packaging from the original Maru 4x4 unboxing, so it's kind of nice to remember that. Looks like we get some actual Maru lube, so this is kind of the stuff that D&M was made to compete against, because Maru lube is some of the best lube you can get. It makes stuff super fast, but it dries out incredibly quickly, like sometimes even within just a few averages of 12 or so, and you have to put more in. So that's basically why D&M was made, to make stuff that works like Maru but doesn't dry out. And then of course we also get a Maru stand that's nice and kind of punched out like that. That looks really nice. And then here we have the cube that's all wrapped up in plastic. So it's got like these individual plastic things on each side. Oh no, we lost the sticker. Oh man, this has been a problem today. Put that back on. Let's try from the other side. This is basically like application tape. There we go. And then this last one off. Okay, so this also has, you know, quite a bit of an older type 4x4 look, just in the way the cubies look and stuff. But moving it, yeah, it's definitely an older feel. Honestly, I kind of like it. I like the feel of these older puzzles. The middles are pretty bad though. They're just really stiff and crunchy. But the outers are actually really great. They turn super well. But yeah, you can tell it's just loud, it's clacky, it's crunchy. You know, it's an older cube. It's really nice. Oh, did the core come out of alignment? Oh my gosh. Look at that. The core just came out of alignment just slightly. I'm sure a lot of you guys don't even remember these kind of problems happening, but with even layer cubes, cores coming out of alignment was pretty common, and it looks like it happened again. So you can see that the center is not in the middle there. So now these sides won't really turn until it gets kind of snapped back into the middle. Well, yeah, there you go. That's definitely a side of an older cube. All right, up next we've got the Chi Storm 4x4. Looks like it's got this protective thing over the logo. We can go ahead and take that off. Pretty sure. Oh, actually, I think that is the logo. Well, whatever. Let's go ahead and turn it. Turns kind of like a Weisu as well, but more stable. It almost reminds me of an Aosu just a little bit. But yeah, it's a very stable cube. It's not looking like it's gonna lock up much, but just a little slow, a little stiff. Could benefit from some lube for sure. But overall, I actually quite enjoy the feeling of it, and it moves well. So yeah, not a bad cube for this one. I quite like it. All right, up next we've got the MF5S. Now, I think I actually might already have this one. I don't know for sure. When I got back, I looked in my 5x5 collection and saw that I did have a 5x5 with a Mofang Jiaoshi logo. I don't know which one it was, whether it was the MF5 or the MF5S, but I mean, this one doesn't feel like it, and neither did the other one. So I'll have to compare the mechs and see which one it is. But yeah. I didn't even realize I had a 5x5 with like a Mofang Jiaoshi 5x5. The cuts on this one look similar to the one I have, so this one might be it. Yeah, I'll have to go back and look at it on unboxing and see which one it was. But yeah, this one turns alright as well. I quite enjoy the feel of this one as well. So yeah. Alright, up next we've got another 4x4 from Cyclone Boys. This one does look like a full-sized one, but it is black, which is kind of nice. Cyclone Boys usually are white cubes. But turning it, or sorry, stickerless, not white. Yeah, moving it, it's okay. Oh, the middles are just rough. as always. That's a problem that a lot of 4x4s do have. It's just rough middles that just don't turn that well as the outers. That's one of the reasons why I do like the Wuchuei so much, is that the inners and outers feel identical. Yeah, this one is just kind of, below par, not that great. Alright, this is the last one in the bag. This is the MF4 from the Cubicle Classroom series. Alright, so... oh wow. This actually feels significantly better than the MF4S right out of the box. Don't know if that's tensioning. This one is much looser, which definitely could make a big difference. But yeah, I actually quite enjoy the turning of this one, and the inners actually feel really good. Yeah, like they're really smooth. They don't feel that locky, and they're not really that catchy either, which is a pretty big deal for a 4x4 in my opinion. Well, anyways, those are all of the puzzles that I got when I was in New York, minus those 4, like I said, that will get their own videos, which I'm pretty much going to go record right now. So yeah, that's about it for this unboxing. Thanks to the Cubicle for giving me all of these cubes for free. It's really nice of them. But yeah, it was really fun to just be able to kind of go through the warehouse and grab whatever I wanted. There was so much there to choose from, so I didn't really know what to take. Eventually I just decided to get some budget cubes that I was going to get anyway in my next kind of big Cubicle unboxing. But yeah, that's pretty much it for this pretty big unboxing. If you guys like this video, make sure you give it a like. Links to all of my social media pages and my merch store will be linked down in the description below as always. Thanks for watching, guys. Bye.